On the 5th day of Christmas, my YouTube gave to me another stream. Wow, a Sunday stream. Check it out. There won't be many of these. This is the hardest day to stream. Church, then over at my family. We spend the most time, then come home. Kids run around being crazy. And then movie night with my nephews. I don't have any time on Sundays. The kids are asleep. And my wife took the other two to a Princess Tea Party. So, hello, Game Freak. So I actually have availability. And I didn't think I would. I was like, man, maybe I can do one late at night, late at night, like after movie night. But then I have to go to bed. But hey, Cody. But perfect timing, Mike. I'm telling you, all about perfect timing. Happy New Year, Tony. Happy New Year to you, brother. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. I was thinking about you the other day, and I can't remember what it was for either. I think I may have had a dream. I went back to Phoenix and met up with you, like at a halfway point or something. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Either way, see, you're on my mind, buddy. Went to church myself for the first time in 8 years on Christmas Eve. It was awesome. Good Games Freak. What type of church was it? Let's see. I just got done watching yesterday's stream. Okay, I got to keep this one short too. But I am trying to do 12 days of streaming. That'd be fun. Tomorrow is up in the air. I'd love to. I haven't heard from Tom in forever, Tony, and I work with him, and I haven't heard from him in forever. I wished him happy Thanksgiving. Didn't hear back, but of course it's a very busy day for him. He doesn't do his podcast anymore. He doesn't do his podcast anymore. So it's sad because I want to go up back there and open back up that podcast room for him. He's the one that gave me the nice equipment here. So I, love Tom. Is she gonna? Well, she's working on her birthday, Michael. Her birthday's tomorrow, and that night we'll be doing something. So that morning I'll probably do something. Michael, I'm trying to get. It's going to be a game day. It's going to be a game. It's going to be Twilight Imperium, but I could not get a hold of the kids who usually come over. And it was going to be with Kelly, who's on this. He comes on the channel every once in a while, Kelly Crittenton. He lives about 30 minutes down the road. Really awesome guy. I played, what did I play with him? Dark Tower, Return to the Dark Tower, and Last Light. And I want to play War of the Ring. And we were going to play tomorrow, but the game shop we go to is closed. And so Tuesday may work, but I am on a tight deadline on Tuesday because we are going to do a live stream. It looks like it is going to be a live stream. I may just call it a Prince of the Universe special since it'll be me and Wes and our every other time co-host, guest star, Brandon, who will be doing the actual Hot One sauces. That's New Year's. So New Year's Eve. And but that's going to be a hard time to game. But I do want to get a game day with him. And but anyway, if my friends can't come over if these guys can't come over for the high school guys can't come over for Twilight Imperium, then what I'm going to do is just call my other buddy over for a full game day. And if so, then I got to get a list of games we're going to play because I don't know yet. What's my opinion on Jimmy Carter? He shouldn't have given away the Panama Canal. And he wasn't that good. He was lost. He was a good old boy who got lost in D.C. And he should have never given away the Panama Canal. That was a bad deal for the U.S. That's such a random question, but thank you so much for asking it. If you don't know, I'm a history major too. So there's a few historical things I talk about too. But anyway, but the missus, she doesn't know what she wants to do on her birthday yet that evening. So we're going to figure out something. Non-denominational. Okay. Like Tom Cannon. All right. Awesome. We're Reformed. Well, hold on. CREC. Christian Reformed. CREC. Reformed Evangelical. CREC. Christian Reformed Evangelical Church. Yeah. CREC. Hello, Gray. Oh, he passed away. Oh, that's why you were asking about. Well, I missed that news. Was it today? Oh, yeah. Wow. At 100. Okay. 100 years ago. All right. Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's a good life. That's a good long life for him. Good long life. One of our obviously oldest presidents. I mean, you think about it. Born in what, 1924, I guess. He got to see the world change several times. He's one of those few people that, like my grandparents, I didn't appreciate the fact that they grew up without TV. And I should have asked more stories of what it was like. And I did sometimes. And my grandparents would tell me about the radio shows they used to love. But I should have held on to that and talked about it, because that's a time before. So they got to see TV and they got to see the internet. They got to see three evolutions of really how the world changed, right? TV and internet were big. I got to see internet. I lived in a world before the internet. And if anyone else that you know, youngins who lived in a world before the internet, what was it like? Peaceful and quiet. Of course, you didn't have information right at your fingertips. You wanted to look something up? There was no Wikipedia. There was an encyclopedia at your house or your buddy's house where you looked it up. And it seems like the dark ages, but not a single, well, at least I was always happy with the way things were. And what if I woke up and I was in 1980 again, living through the decade? I could make it through without my cell phone. I'd probably be more wary of the newspaper and whatnot. Newspapers would be relevant again, but I could make it. I leave my phone on the charger. I leave my phone at home. I've left my phone at work. If my phone's not in my pocket, I'm not checking it all the time. So, okay, so that answers the Jimmy Carter question. I did not know he passed away today. So, there we go. Thoughts on Last Light? It's a fine game. Not something I would get, but definitely something fun. It's really fast. It does play an hour to 45 minutes. I mean, it plays quick, because if you've played it, Michael, you're just playing these cards and playing that one card that resets and takes your cards back in your hand. And once everyone's played that, so it's like a push and pull. And because the board moves and everything, the game will have replayability. The pieces are very nice. I enjoyed the game. I don't think I need it, though. I don't think I need it. But I was so happy to play it, though. All right, Tony, have a great day. He was the first president to live 100 years, huh? I mean, good for him. Anyone who lives 100 years. Allowed a Battlefront 3 for Wii was recently, if you're not getting into gaming, but it shows a lot more of the story than the previous leaks had. I don't know anything about the video games. That's my weak spot. If you don't remember Only Good Games, I remember I did a review on KOTOR because I thought I could get the summary of it. And I was wrong. Everyone said, "Oh, Matt, you skipped this, you got this wrong." And I said, you know what? You're right. I shouldn't comment on video games by just reading whatever's on Wikipedia, because Wikipedia was full of holes. And I didn't know back then. And but then again, if I don't play the game, I probably shouldn't comment on it. So I don't know much about the games. You dream of living in it was interesting. Now, here's the thing. I would like to see a pre-television world. Without pre-television, I don't know. I mean, well, see, hold on now. That's the other thing, though, because then I lose my YouTube. I don't know. You say you could live without internet. I could live without my cell phone, but internet would be something different. So it would be a little tough for me now because the internet's nicer. I got to be honest with myself here. Life without a cell phone, I could make it a while. Life without the internet, it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, you had to know your way around the library. That's true. You had to know your way around a library. Libraries were big. Grady, you remember you'd go to the library sometimes and study with your friends, and then you look up books for your book report and everything. What's my favorite card-based game? Based on card, I don't know if it's a card-based game. It is on cards. Probably St. Petersburg. It's just not. It's not only cards. Well, you're moving around tracks. No, I guess the board is just tracks and just auctioning. So I guess it is all cards in a way. But yeah, St. Petersburg's great. I wish it would go back in print. Yes, Michael, I admit, Last Light is not as epic. Not as epic as everyone says it. And he says, it's Twilight Imperium in under an hour. It's not Twilight Imperium. Let's not call it that. It's 5X. It is. It's just quick actions, some fun. I'll be honest, the game pieces give it a better appeal. If it used cubes and everything, and I think, oh gosh, who designed it? I forgot his name already, from Dice Tower. Anyway, I think he knew if he had rudimentary pieces that the game wouldn't be loved. So he had to make really special, cool looking, like the worlds and everything. Totally not needed for the game, but gives it some kind of pop, right? Because he needed something. Roy Halladay, right? He needed to give it something to give it some pop and some attractiveness, because the gameplay it's okay, right? It's nothing special. But when you put the little special worlds on it, the nice pieces, the nice little energy cube pieces, two pieces, all that stuff's really nice. It adds to the flavor of the game. Asteroids that there's no reason why asteroids should be looking like real asteroid rocks. But at the same time, though, it gives the appeal of a game that is just so. It's not a bad game, though. It's not a bad game, just not one I want to add to my collection. And I'm super happy I got a chance to play it, though. You know, I had fun playing it, but after it was over, I was like, okay, I don't need this game because I already got other games that I'd rather play. But I wanted to play that one. And Kelly had it and gave me the opportunity for it. And it's not like if someone brought out Last Light, I wouldn't be like, no thanks. I'd play it. You know, it's like sushi. I like sushi, but I never say, let's go eat sushi. If someone else says, let's go eat sushi, I'm like, sure, fine. But I will never say. So I would never say, I want to play Last Light. But if anyone wants to play Last Light, Matt, you want to play? Yeah, I'm in. If that makes any sense. What are my thoughts on Robert Downey Jr.'s Dune? Chris Evans is on the know. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Iron Man. He can't be Dune. I mean, I know he is. And Chris Evans, I don't know. I don't know why the refusal not to bring back Iron Man. And you can do it. We don't care. Fanboys don't care as long as their favorites are back. So I don't really know the purpose of bringing back his different characters unless they're going to turn some spin on it or something. I know Robert Downey Jr. originally wanted to be Doom back in the day, but either way, that big reveal was just confusing to me. So, hello, Teresa. Merry Christmas. Wikipedia is fake news. Yeah. Five golden rings. That's right, Teresa. Is 5 golden rings a day. Actually, the missus is getting a ring on her birthday tomorrow with all the kids' birthstones on it. Is it different from? Okay. I'm catching up on all the things. Hello, Laura. How are you? Merry Christmas. Life Without the EU. Oh yeah, it wouldn't have been around. In the early 90s, it would have been around. But here's the thing. I mean, I was too young, but knowing what I know now, it would have been. And it's funny because I can't remember who it was. It was Ryder Wenham who told me this, or Rich Hanley, or okay, now you can hear me. I don't know. I moved something so my mic was unplugged. Anyway, and he told me, whoever it was, I can't remember who it was. I said, hey, if you want, I can move this along and maybe you can write a short story for Star Wars. Well, I don't want to write for the new canon. But I thought, man, I could have gotten into West End Games. Hearing how other people did it, I could have gotten in and been an author, submitted stories to West End Games and probably gotten a deal with them. How sweet would that have been? Like, you hit reset and you put me back in the 90s, I'm headed straight to West End Games, right? With story ideas. Oh, could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. But it wasn't that hard, supposedly. If you were persistent, if
gave it because they were looking for cheap labor to bring content to their their material and their at the time adventure journals. And if you could do that, then you could get a job, and from there you could springboard into other things too. So wow, woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? But back then I hated writing. I hated it. Can you put in your stream like you did before each comment you answer? Wait a minute, what? Can you put in your stream? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Watching Green Bay, Minnesota. There we go. EU is so foundational. That's correct. Gray. Do I like Batman? Andres Hernandez says, do I like the Batman movie? I hated the Batman movie. I love Batman. And I hated the Batman movie, but the Penguin TV show I thought was excellent, and I enjoyed the Penguin. That's probably the only character I liked in the Batman movie, which is why I kind of started watching the TV show. But the TV show is so great, I want to see more of Penguin and Batman. And I love Batman, but I just didn't like that movie. Oh, yeah, the multiverse is what you're talking about in games, yeah. We were going on Survivor. Tabletop, Bernardo, Australian Survivor versus the World comes out next year. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that. I'm trying currently to get the Survivor Quebec episodes, but I need subtitles because they don't have subtitles. I found them, but they don't have subtitles on them. So I need to get it to where I can get English subtitles because I'm trying, there's two people who are appearing on Australian Survivor versus the World that I don't know. One is from Finland Survivor and the other's from Quebec. Quebec only has a few seasons, so I thought I'd watch Quebec first. But maybe I'll switch it. Finland Survivor has like 8 seasons or whatnot, but I'll watch them all if there's subtitles. I know you said that to be smart, but anyway. Did I watch Squid Game season 2? Yes. I thought it wasn't as good. No. Season 2 is better, you said? No. No, it's not. Season 2 is a lot slower. I like the games. I know they have to do something different. I know they have to keep the story going on. I understand why season 2 was season 2, but season 1 with all the games and the excitement and the players dying off and the stories in between, getting to know these characters, was really good. The second time around, I found myself glued to the tube whenever they were playing one of the games. And then I don't like the ending either. It didn't end, which means we're going to have to wait another whole year to see what happens next. But there was some decent stuff in it, but not enough for me to say it was better than season 1. No. And again, well, Matt, you just want the same thing as season 1. Yeah, I do. But I know they got to move the story along, but to me, it just wasn't the best. The Carousel game was good. Not to spoil anything. Hello, Obsidian Kate. I hear the girl's already back. Goodness gracious. I did some videos and edited some videos before getting online, and that was a mistake. Because I could have been on here for 30 more minutes, but now it's going to be cut down to 10 because they're about to come up here. I hear the thunder rolling in. Thoughts on the Batman movies. Did not like the Christopher Nolan trilogy. I thought it was okay. Third one I thought was terrible. The first one was pretty good. The second one, of course, is good. But I hate the Batman. I hate Christopher Bales as Batman. I like Christopher Bales as an actor, but I hate his Batman. And the world that Christopher Nolan tried to deal with, he tried to make everything too real. He didn't want everyone to be in silly costumes. But I didn't like his vision. But the movies were okay, except for the last one. When you're punching when a prison monk is punching your spine into place, I'm checked out. But Bernardo liked Patterson as Batman. I didn't like it. Hello, Josh the nerd. Have I seen the new DC Finest books? Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Legion? No, I have not. Which EU comic series do you think has the best single issue front covers? Oh, I mean, you gotta look at Dark Empire, Crimson Empire. Man, there's a good many. Just about any Dave Dorman cover is gonna be up there as epic, in my opinion. Dinner may be ready any second. You must be an hour ahead of me. Dinner will not be ready for us anytime soon. Not too much of a live action Batman movies fan. Morbid. I love the DC animated universe, Obsidian Kite. I love the DCAU, but I think it came to an end, right? After what's his name? Passed away. The voice of Batman, Kevin Conroy, passed away. They kind of are going to stop those movies and TV shows, but I liked it. The only thing that the DCAU had a weak spot on, I thought the spinoff to Batman Beyond. I can't remember the name now. I have it, but it wasn't that good. And then the other one that I thought wasn't that good was Static. And Static, the art got better over time. That was the weird thing. Like the worst art was in season 1, and then slowly the art animation got better, but the story just was the same. Like every bat villain had the same origin, right? That big poofy cloud that infected all the kids at the high school, and now they're all villains except for Static. I don't know. And then his best friend, who has a latent ability because they just wanted to add it in season 4, but since everyone else had already had their abilities and he didn't have it, they called it a latent ability. It's just lazy story writing. But things like even their Flash cartoons, which you can find on YouTube, the Lobo one made me laugh a little bit. So DCAU all the way. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, Michael. I agree that the Nolan trilogy is not that good, and Ledger is overrated. It wasn't bad. Is it the groundbreaking? No. It was a nice Joker. Wasn't a bad Joker, but I think you've got Jack Nicholson's Joker that was better. I'm watching the Batman 66. I like Cesar Romero better. He's just a good Joker. That's very controversial, but I think Burgess Meredith is an excellent Penguin. I think Frank Gorshin is an excellent Riddler. I think he's the best Riddler. Right now, the best Penguin has to be Colin Farrell, which is shocking because Burgess Meredith, in my opinion, was the best. So Batman 66 characters are really good. And they still have the best Mr. Freeze. They still have the best Catwoman. Julie Newmar is better than Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, how about that? Ooh, that's a big one when I think about it. Holy cow. How many Batman 66 characters are better than anyone else's? Frank Gorshin's Riddler is still the best. Jack Nicholson's probably a better Joker. But Cesar Romero, as I'm rewatching this with my son right now. We're watching an episode here and there, and it's been great. He loves it when Batman fights. And he said, "That guy, Batman," and he starts punching when he's watching the TV with me. It's great. I haven't seen Batman 2004 Brave and Bold. I just watched the original Batman animated series. Then, after years of avoiding it, I watched Batman Beyond, which was great. Then I watched Justice League, and I thought that was great. And then someone got me to watch the Batman spinoff, Batman Beyond spinoff. It's about the robot. And I watched that, and it wasn't that good. And then my buddy finally got me to watch the Superman animated series, and it was really good. And then most of their movies have been good. Static Shock, not good, even though I did have one guy swear up and down it was his favorite show. And I watched it, but I just couldn't get into it. Oh, Bernardo, I'll be playing tomorrow. I just don't know with who. Either Twilight Imperium again or just a random list of games I haven't made up yet. I'm going to find out in an hour or two. I'm going to talk to the high schoolers and see if they are coming over tomorrow or not. Who's my favorite Robin? Wow, is Burt Ward the best Robin? Live action Robin. And I have seen the Teen Titans one, which I wasn't a fan of. Although I did like Jason Todd and Teen Titans. Yes, Burt Ward's the best Robin. Boy, I'm saying tons of controversial stuff here. Zeta Project. Thank you. Zeta Project was a good episode. Zeta was a good, but the TV show didn't conclude. But the only time it was good was when it crossed back over with Batman Beyond. But Zeta Project was not that good, and it's very dated. It's in the future where everyone has access to a box computer. Not a computer on their phone or on their wrist, but a box computer. I've seen some of those animated movies, but in the DCAU, I've seen all those movies. Of course, the Batman Mask of Phantasm is excellent. Sub-Zero is excellent. Mystery of the Batwomen is like a big, long TV episode. There's nothing special about it. The Justice League movie was okay. The last Batman Harley Quinn movie was really good. The Superman movie is not part of the DCAU, even though it uses the same characters. It is not part of the DCAU, and it sucks. It's really dumb. So I'm super happy that it, because at first I thought it was. I said, man, they ruined this. The Flash cartoons, the Gotham Girls, the Girls of Gotham is not that good. Lobo was okay, made me laugh. You got to lower your. Then there's a silent episode of Batman the Animated Series where he's chasing Catwoman. That was on exclusive online. I'm a big fan of the DCAU, and that was okay. Milestone Comic Stat. Yeah, I think he was bought by DC for a while, and they had the rights. I haven't seen Doom That Came to Golf. And no, Bruce will let me, Rob D, all those Soul of the Dragon, Batman Ninja. Bruce will lend me some of them. He gets some of them. He gets all of them on Blu-ray, and I'll watch a few of them. I can't remember which ones I've seen. I've seen a few, but it's been a couple of years. But no, I don't watch all of them like that. Flashpoint Paradox. I don't recall it. They did put it all out on DVD. It's 2 seasons. It's kind of hard to get now, but I bought it back in the day. I remember I bought it on, I think I bought it on eBay. Like someone had it used, and now they're worth a little bit, but it's not worth getting. It's not worth. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, and it's not that good. There is a crossover episode with Batman Beyond that's decent, but still, you're not missing anything. It's like that. If you don't know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles teamed up with Power Rangers in a live-action TV show. There was a 2-part episode, and I have it. I think it's on my Turtles TV show DVD as a special feature. But you don't want to watch it because, and plus that TV show was, the Turtles live action TV show was not that good. Coolio says, how are we feeling about Star Wars these days, and what's keeping you busy right now? I'm loving Star Wars right now, Coolio. I'm rewatching everything. Rewatching all the TV shows. I'll rewatch the Ewok movies and the Holiday Christmas Special, which I haven't seen in like 15 years almost. And I'm going to rewatch all that, and then do a deep dive into the role-playing stuff after that. So it's fun. As for what I'm anticipating for next year, as you know, the Hungarian Han Solo books are coming out. Hopefully next year. It'll be interesting to read those. What's keeping me busy right now? 4 kids. Batman Beyond is, ooh, your cousin says Batman Beyond better than Batman animated series. My buddy CJ agrees with you, and I disagree. But my buddy, Batman Beyond is great. And my buddy does agree with that. He does say that to me, but he's the one that got me to watch it. Now, the Batman Beyond movie, Return of the Joker, I've never seen it get darker than what it did in Return of the Joker, but it was really good. Vincent Price's Egghead. Well, they're the only ones to show a live action Mad Hatter too. Not that he was great, but Bernardo, you and it's Stupid Chainsaw Productions love Static. All the villains had the same origin story, and the art, the animation was so terrible in the first season. It gets better every season. Like season 4, it's amazing. There was one where he goes to Africa and meets up with the spider guy. And that was a great episode just because of the animation. But at the end of it, I was more interested in the other character than I was Static Shock. Hello, Star Wars Marvel purists. How's it going? I don't think Static Shock was woke. I don't know how it was woke. If it was, I don't remember. But the thing was, I just found the main character boring, and I found every villain having the same origin was just kind of boring. You grew up with Static Shock. It looks like a lot of people younger than me really loved it. Because I'll be honest, you're 10 years younger than me. It seems like you loved it. And that's fine. You grew up watching it. You probably have better memories of it. I'll be honest, it was one of the last things in the DCAU that I actually turned and watched. Because I thought the DC Universe could do no wrong. I'd already seen Zeta Project. But I said, well, maybe Static Shock that went 4 seasons is probably better. And I just wasn't impressed. It's not the worst one. Zeta Project's the worst. But it's just not like... the Superman animated series is so good. Batman Beyond is so good. Batman the animated series is so good. And then Static Shock is like a D. Maybe a low C. Maybe a low C for me. But everything else is straight A's, you know. Zeta Project's an F. So that's just how I feel. And again, you're right. It's just my opinion. So that's all. That doesn't make it fact, right? Doesn't make it fact. I'm talking about the live action Teen Titans. Thoughts on Batman Cape Crusader? I didn't know they gender swapped the Penguin, so I don't care. Then I don't care about Elseworld stuff. The Dark Knight Returns. I liked the movie. It was all right. Rob D, I have someone who like collects all of, one of those little servers. And he just gets all the old cartoons, so I can watch everything. I can even watch Zeta Project again on there. But yeah, it is aggravating trying to find some of this stuff streaming, which is why everyone's big into physical media, right? Have ever seen Space 1999? No. Thoughts on their racism and bullying episodes? I don't remember it that much, Andrew. I never sat there and thought this offends me politically. I don't remember that. I may have rolled my eyes because, this has been going on for quite some time. Oh gosh, a lot of people talk about, everything's so woke now and everything, but it's kind of always been like, have we forgotten the 90s with Captain Planet? Captain Planet was horrible. It was all about if you don't take care of Earth, we could destroy our generation. We could be the last generation alive. Well, no, we've survived several other generations. But that propaganda has always been going on, and it will always go on. So it's not like the golden age, we didn't have that. We did. It's just there wasn't the internet for people to rage about it. Captain Planet would get so much hate online back in the day. I kind of wanted a planet ring, but I hated. I remember just rolling my eyes at Captain Planet. So, See, Bernardo has a different opinion. We have different opinions of Static Shock. I'm glad there's a lot of Static Shock lovers out there because I like the DCAU. But I just felt like, again, Zeta Project is the worst, but Static Shock is meh, below meh for me. And Superman, which I hate Superman, that animated series is fantastic. And I hate Superman. The Batman animated series is one of the best things I've ever seen. in animation, period. And Batman Beyond is right close second. I mean, there's just so many great, and not every movie was a hit. I will be honest. I even said that. Not every movie was a hit. I thought the Justice League movie was all right. The Batman movies, except for Mystery of the Batwomen, were all A pluses for me. And geez, is that it? Was that it for movies? Did they have 2 Justice League movies? I can't remember. The DC animated universe, the one that connects to the Batman animated series. Yeah, the live action HBO Teen Titans was just bad. And the only thing I really liked about it was Jason Todd's character. I thought that was a really good touch. But other than that, they didn't have any money, so they had to do it on the cheap. And you can't do Teen Titans on the cheap. And they refused to put Robin in an outfit. As much as they could, they tried to avoid costumes. And that's bad when you have a superhero show and they don't wear costumes. It's just bad. Just came back from doing house chores. What'd you miss? Me hating all. No, I was talking about the Batman animated series and all the stuff around it. Physical media, I get it. We did an episode of Prince of the Universe on it. I have a different opinion of it because I think everything can be saved digitally, and there will always be some spot somewhere to watch your favorite show. Again, I don't mind people are getting physical DVDs. I don't think they're wasting their time. I have a lot of DVDs. But to be fair, there's a lot of DVDs I'd love to get rid of. If there was a place you could trade your DVDs in for, I would trade about 80% of my collection. Because most of that stuff is streaming, and if I want to watch it, I can watch it. And if I have to rent it for $2, I'll probably rent it for $2 because I'm not going to watch this one movie a million times. Like a lot of my movies, I may watch one more time. I don't know. But I see the aspects of physical media. Obsidian Kate says she gives 0 cares about the whole left versus right wing junk. Yeah, that's right. Here's the thing. Basically, is the show enjoyable? Like, I don't like the guy the director of 97 X-Men. He didn't. I'm sure we don't align up, politically, in some beliefs, but he made a great show. I mean, X-Men 97 was really good, really good. In fact, I know he got fired right after the show premiered or right before the show premiered. I don't know why. It must have been something else. But now I'm kind of worried about their second season of X-Men 97 because I hope it's as good as this first one. This first one's really good. And you just got to say, do I enjoy this or not? It just depends. I just hate when it's like, we're force-fed something. Captain Planet. There you go. Since no one attacks older stuff. But I love how we talk about, I miss the old days when we didn't have this stuff. The message. You had the message. It may have been watered down, but it was always there. That's the thing. So, just like what you like. And if you don't like it, then check out. If you don't like it because it's making some kind of statement, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But if you like something, go and like it. Oh, should I like this? Should I like this because my friends and family and political leanings say this is good, this is bad? No, you should go in there and decide for yourself. Decide for yourself. But I will say this: Hollywood, it seems so generic to say this, but they're creatively bankrupt, right now. It seems like every time I don't want them to remake anything. I don't want them to take some of my classics and make a movie out of it. I don't trust Hollywood. I don't think they know what good storytelling is right now. More and more every year, I get less excited about movies coming out. And every time something big comes out, it seems like they blow it. Someone's eventually going to get on the right track, but it may take some time. But you have to decide for yourself whether you're going to like something or not. Lost wasn't too bad, Bernardo, but the last season was garbage. Walking Dead was garbage right after the I Am Negan season. What was that, season 6? And then Negan appears at the end. After that, just turn it off. Garbage after that. Mask of the Phantasm is great, Cody. I agree with you. Like again, I don't think Static was woke. I don't think I said that. You know the difference between woke and a story that talks about serious issues. I don't know. I don't know. I never thought that when I watched it, Andres Internet. I never thought that. I never thought that. So I never considered it woke. You know, I'm not really. You know, there's some things that I think for me, and I said this on the podcast, the new Saved by the Bell, it tries to go out there and please every checkbox, right? But it really becomes comical how they're doing it. My wife's a big Saved by the Bell, and she hated. She refused to watch the new series. It was just awful. And of course, they're trying to check all the boxes. Okay. And I didn't mind that because I think they were trying so hard that they made themselves look ridiculous. And I actually loved the series. There was nothing like that turned me off of Static Shock. Again, the reason I didn't like Static Shock, I didn't like how all the villains had the same origin. And I thought Static Shock wasn't that interesting. I just didn't. I like the Justice League crossover that they did in season 4, I think. But that's mainly because of season 4. And the animation was terrible. The animation was terrible in that first season. It got a little bit better. Every season it got better. But it was so terrible. It made it hard to watch. For me. There are better versions of Smallville and Legion of Superheroes than the animated Superman. I don't know. I really like the animated Superman. And here's the thing. I hate Superman. I hate Superman as a character. I did not want to watch the Superman animated series. But my buddy kept forcing me. He said, you gotta see it. So I watched it, and I'll be honest, it was good. I like Christopher Reeves as Superman, too. But very few things I like with Superman because I just don't like the character. Smallville was okay, but once Lex Luthor left, it was not that good. And it was the best Lex Luthor. I agree with that, Bernardo. Yeah, Josh the Nerd, I live in a small town, and we don't have anyone who trades in DVDs. I thought the local Books A Million did it, but since no one visits our Books A Million, and I haven't either in years, I don't know if they still do it. They used to, but I don't know if they still do it. So we don't have a place that does that. If we did, I would haul 80% of my DVDs over because I know I'm just not going to watch these shows or movies ever again, or if so, maybe watch them once on streaming. You loved Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Didn't see that one. Should have got an animated. Oh yeah, an animated series in the DC AU by Wonder Woman. I would have been interested. I think they could have told a good story. You just wrapped up a Star Wars Unlimited tournament. Did you win? Oh no, played as Cad Bane, didn't win. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry. I'm catching up on all these. I don't like Superman stories when there's some Clark in there. It's just soups. There was one, the best Superman story was when that guy had the death chair and they showed him dying on death row. At the very end, they throw the switch. That was a little dark. Like when it was like, who killed Clark Kent? Was that the episodes? I can't remember, but it was really good. I mean, they really, and here it is. It's based on the story, right? Who writes the stories? And they've always said when it comes to movies, they're not going to do another movie until they got a good story. I think that Justice League one that they did it was okay, but it wasn't really that good. But the Batman Harley Quinn is so overused these days, but she started in the animated series and they did a great job. I thought it was really good. I bought it just because I like the DCAU, but I ended up really liking it too. Hello, Star Wars Scran. Oh, hey, he did a video on the Ewoks movies, and I wanted you to know, I looked, Eric Walker's book. Hold on. Let me, I'm glad you're here, if you're still here. because I think that picture is online. Because it's Eric Walker originally was in front of a plant. It's him in front of a plant, and it was the right hand. But then when they refilmed it, it went to his left hand, or vice versa. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, and that's why, because they kept the shot of him with his original injury. So at first you think, yeah, it's just a movie mistake, a movie goof, but they actually filmed two scenes where he hurt his hand. It's not in here. I thought the picture would be up there. Hold on. But Eric Walker had a book, and I bought it when I saw him. Man. And the book is in the, doggone it. It's not on my bookshelf. It's probably in the old book room. But it has some deleted scenes, but one of them is him standing over a big flower, and he put his hand in the flower, and the flower got it. But then they didn't like the look of it or the whole thing, so it got reshot. And I want to say George Lucas, you were right. George Lucas did a lot of reshoots for it, and George Lucas did did shoot some stuff with Mace, and it was faster. You know, the takes were a lot faster, more intense. Because that's how he did things. But they used his other hand. But when they were editing it, they just forgot to, you know, they still were keeping the original. That was a reshoot where his hand got injured, and they just got the hands mixed up. But there is a picture of him in front of a bunch of giant flowers. It looks like something off of Star Trek episode. I'll have to find that. I'll have to find that book and show you that picture. I think Dave Filoni loves Ahsoka more than Sabine, but the Sabine would be a second pick. Second runner-up. Truth. Oh, look at this. We have a Star Wars Unlimited conversation going on here. All right. I've not seen the Star Wars Holiday Special in well over a decade, maybe 15. I was talking to my buddy, the last person to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I asked him, when was that? And we reckon it's like 14, 15 years since I've seen it. But I will watch it again next year for rewatch. Yeah, Star Wars Grand. I'll find it. I'll find the book. That's the only reason I bought it, because he talked about the deleted scenes. And crying in his trailer when he heard, or crying at home whenever he got the news that his character was going to get killed was supposed to be him and Sindel in another adventure. And then his daughter had seen Heidi and loved the movie Heidi, where all the girl's family died. So George said, hey, kill off the family. You know, because he just got an inkling to do that. And so it just happened like that Mace had a movie. It was a 3-movie contract, I think. But when he found out his character was killed off, he just boo-hoo. I mean, because he had so much fun doing the first movie. He couldn't wait to come back for the second movie. And all he got was this one scene. But I'll be honest, it's a heavy scene. Seeing Mace all scruffy looking, go, run, Sindel. And then he dies. You're like, whoa. Because as a kid, you connected to Mace. And he thinks George made a mistake, obviously, for killing off. But I think so, too. Because as a kid, you just saw him. And remember, these things came out back-to-back years. So we were excited. We'd seen the first one, the continuing adventures of Mace and Sindel, and Mace dies in the first 5 minutes. We're like, ah! It's awful as a kid. Why do I hate Superman? I just never liked him. Not for me. Yeah, and if you Star Wars Grand, if you talk, you said that George Lucas visits the set 3 times a week, at least. The people I've talked to are Ewoks. I've talked to Ewok actors that were in the films. Mace himself. I talked with no passies. We're not going night-night right now. Say hi. Say hey. Who was the villain in the second movie? I talked to him. And he said George was there almost every day drinking coffee, looking over the set, because he was right there on Skywalker Ranch. So he was right there. He'd just come out there, make a few pointers, and go back in. And then, of course, he did look at some script, and they asked him, would you do it? And he'd look at it, maybe do a rewrite, make some suggestions. He did some reshoots. He did a lot of reshoots for Return to Endor, but he was way more involved. I love the video, by the way, Star Wars Scran. By the way, Star Wars Scran, great videos. Go see it. Love it. But it's very true. He only went in 2. And to be honest, TCW, yeah, I think, Scran, you had some quotes in there, but they were, I do not believe Dave Filoni at all. I like how you said that he references George to kind of give more authority to his statements. And that is so true. That is so true. He references George to give himself authority in the fandom. Every time when someone says, oh, I didn't like this. Well, that was George's idea. George told me to do it. Okay, whatever. All right. And then if it was, but every time we didn't like something, it was always George's idea, George's suggestion to do this. But the thing is, George, I bet, showed up for the writing, the brainstorming of the season. And then it sounds like after that, George just came in to watch a rough cut of the show and give a few notes to Dave, a few suggestions that sometimes he didn't even use. And on those DVDs that you were pulling that stuff from, on those DVDs, Dave Filoni even laughs one time and says, George didn't want me to do this, but we went ahead and kept it. Huh! Why didn't George want you to have Plo Koon out in the vacuum of space? I wonder why. Not that it was bad. That was actually a good episode. But just the hubris of this guy is so annoying. But the thing is, though, George Lucas had more involvement with the Ewok. And I love how Filoni's like, we wanted to keep this true to the canon, meaning the films. Dude, Dooku and Anakin did not meet between 2 and 3. He says, Obi-Wan goes, this time we'll do it together. Well, remember, in the animated show, they fought Dooku together 3 times. Or 2, was it 2 or 3 times? Remind me. It was 2 or 3 times they fought together against him. Shouldn't Anakin in episode 3 go, you mean like the last 3 times, Master? Why are you being an ass? Are you still talking about that first time when we didn't? Talk about breaking continuity. Just, cannot stand that guy. You got me ranting about Filoni. Good for you. Can't stand him. The holiday special is hard to sit through. I like how there's a Star Wars Unlimited conversation going on here. That's great. Andres Hernandez, that is a very interesting thing. If Static came out today, would it be called woke? Yeah, I think it would. And that's a shame. It would be. I have no doubt. And here's the thing. If Captain Planet came out today, it would be called woke. Remember, that word didn't exist by now. Oh, see, this is it. It's just noise. I can't stop it now. This is how every Sunday is. Every Sunday. This is why we don't do streams. All right. You like Bernardo like Skeleton Crew? I have a buddy of mine that just told me he loves it too. Do I accept the Ewok movies as part of the EU? Well, no, you don't understand. I accept the Clone Wars as well. Remember, the EU incorporated the Clone Wars. Sure, Filoni didn't make the Clone Wars for the EU, even though he borrowed greatly from it. But no, the Ewok movies, they don't disrupt the EU. It just happened on the planet Endor. So yeah. Oh, Mace Tatwani. I'm sorry, Josh the Nerd. I'm sorry. That was confusing, wasn't it? Have I met Warwick? No, I have not met Warwick Davis. I did get his autograph. He had something you could just mail it in during the pandemic, and I did for like $20 and got his autograph. I also ordered his book, and sadly, his book just mentions the Ewok movies. He doesn't talk about them at all. And I was so disappointed. He talks about Return of the Jedi. He says, we made 2 more Ewok movies. And then I got to meet Michael Jackson. And then he talks about the Leprechaun movies. And I'm like, wait a minute. talk about your experience on the set with the Ewok movies. But he didn't do that, so it's a shame, missed opportunity. You keep getting lots of ads for Legends in LA and one in Texas. Which one do you like and which one are you going to attend? I'm attending the one in Texas. If the one in Burbank makes, I'll be shocked. I asked those people to come on the channel to discuss it, and they never Legends Expo never responded to me. I don't know if they're real people because they only use their first names or code names, where everyone else uses their full name and has a picture. So it's a little sketch. But I really hope to have them on, Legends Expo people, you know. But I will be at the one in Dallas, Texas. That's the one I'll be at. But and if Legends Expo wants to talk to me and come on a more civilized age, they have an open invitation. Why would they make Legends Con? Well, one is called Legends Con, one is called Legends Expo. Kyle Rawlings owns Legends Con. He paid for the first one, and he made that's where Legends Con 2 is coming from. The other people, they didn't own it. They were the old board that started running it, and now they want to run it again in the same area, but they have to change the name because they don't have the rights to it. But I don't know where they're going to get the money. Kyle, he fronted all the money last time. So without the money, where are they getting the money to pay for everything? I want to know. That's why I sent an email to them to give them an open invitation to come on the show. But they got to do it in January. They don't have to do it in January, but I'd like it to do it in January or February for a more civilized age. Will they respond back? I don't know. They haven't yet.
So you better get ready for your sister's birthday. Father, he's not coming.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Scran. You also talked about in the Ewok thing about how you like the different lands, and I so wanted to be on this stream. I was like wanting to talk with you during this because it's such a great topic here. But I also love, and I'm going to talk this when I do rewatch again because you made me think about this. How easy is it to film in the woods? Easy. That's why a lot of student films and cheap movies are done in the woods. It's free. It's a free set. But no, they said we have to find other sets, there's paintings, other backgrounds other than the woods of Endor, which we would have fine with, but they explored more of Endor. And I like that. I like that appreciation. Like, hey, if they're going to travel, it can't be just to one wooded area after the next. We need to show different regions of Endor. And that was really, it was a good point that you made. And I just wanted to expound upon it. So you just clip me out and put me in with your conversation there. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Imagine being such a bad writer that your TV show contradicts movies. Yeah, I know. But he's there sitting going, yeah, we wanted to really add something to the canon, the movies, because he thinks he's part of the movie, but he never was. He never was. He was T-canon. George even didn't say he was. But Dave Filoni, he's like the little brother. He didn't want to be with the EU. He wants to be with George, but he wasn't. So he got his own little play place, and he acts like it's canon. Well, now in the new Disney, he did get promoted to canon. He got his wish. You know, the wooden boy became a real boy after lying for years. If I had George on the channel, I would talk to him about the EU, and I would show people that he didn't hate it. He didn't think it was his story. He thought it was this company's story. He never says canon once, but he always did check. He had a lot of involvement. You look at some of these interviews, West End Games, Bantam, Del Rey, they always send him there's like 10 questionnaire. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Sometimes George would write notes. And people say that there's in the interviews all the time, people saying, yeah, we got a note from George about this. That was on that little yes, no thing you'd write. Any thoughts on fans who call Legends EUCon because they think it's 2014 and they're still unaware that the movement to continue the EU along with parallel pathway to a new continuity? Look who it is, folks. And by the way, Chris's picture of George Lucas eating alone is just, it's wonderful. It's one of my favorite pictures. So there you go. Chris gets invites to a more civilized age. Maybe one day he'll join. Put differently, what happened to the little fandom we once were a part of? Look at Chris. I'll show Chris's comments here. There you go. I'd love for you to come talk about it on a more civilized age. Who is the cutest, Lumparo, Wicked, Grogu, or Neil? I think Grogu is Baby Yoda. I don't know who Neil is. So we're going to go with Lumpy. Lumpy's kind of ugly. Go with Wicked. A few of the Legends Expo members are prominent figures in the wider EU community. I don't know a single one of them. I'm not saying I'm the one who would know everyone, but you think I would have heard of one of their names. But again, they your cousin who said this, I don't know these people. They use their first names. I don't know them. I don't know. I haven't seen any big channels. Not that I have to know them for them to be big in the EU, but you think I would have heard of one of them by now. I just don't see them that active. Maybe they're active on another platform I'm unaware of. I'm not saying they're not. It's just, I've never heard of them. I mean, I'm not the biggest thing, obviously, but I've just never heard of anyone on them. And I know a lot of the Legends Con people. I know a lot of them. I don't know all of them. There's a few people on Legends Con I don't know, but I know no one on Legends Expo. And like I said, they could be, maybe they're big on Discord or X or Facebook or something. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Favorite TC? Well, so far on rewatch, I mean, the one that surprised me was the Leviathan story. I really enjoyed that. I don't remember enjoying it as much. Can I get George Lucas as in on a guest? No comment. Are you looking for a comment from me? It's become less civilized, a less civilized age. Oh no. Fandom Menace Con. Oh boy. For me, the Legends Con, I think will be a gathering of a lot of fans. I know it will be, at least fans of channels and stuff that I watch. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing everyone there. The guests are basically in line with the EU, I believe. And I can't wait to see all of them, even though I'll probably be asking Kevin J. Anderson more Dune questions than EU, but that's appropriate since he wrote both. And all the people who will be there there's a lot of people I'm familiar with who also love the expanded universe. So for me, it is going to be a fun con. Is James Lucino? No, he's not. He's not going to be there. Too bad. I wish he would. Fandom Menace doesn't exist. Not anymore. I don't think they do.
Oh, I didn't know what size.
They post semi-frequently on Instagram. Okay. So how are they big in the community then? I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying, how are they? It's just kind of weird. Don't you think it's kind of weird? I don't know any of them. I mean, am I not a big enough fan to know other fans? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not being sarcastic here. I don't know everyone. I don't know everyone at Legends Con either who runs Legends Con, but I know a lot of them. You think I hear one, but of course it's hard when you only have a first name to go by or by code names. The website is just watch a more civilized age. I have a lot of questions for Legends Expo, but I did send them an email, so we'll see. I'm not trying to be condescending on them either, by the way. I'm just saying, if they're so influential in the EU, where have they been? Or where have I been? I've not been looking at them. If they're so influential, I don't know. That's kind of weird. You think, I don't know. Oh, see you later, Cody.
Open your other gifts like sister brought you. Sister, come out here. She's home.
Who is the Phantom Menace was a group that I think the Phantom Menace was a group that hated the new Disney movies and were outright outraged about them, and I think that started during episode 8, I think. And now they're really not a thing anymore. Now they've kind of gone on to complain about other things in Hollywood too. That's not really a thing anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, though, that is going to be it for me. I've got to split, and I will see you guys later. Take care. I'm late. I didn't realize what time it was. Holy cow! 6